From IsReal News, these are the morning headlines for Sunday, March 29th. New signs of internal strain in Iran. According to a report by the opposition outlet Iran International, President Masoud Pezeshkian is warning that without a ceasefire, Iran's economy could collapse within 3 to 4 weeks. The report says tensions are growing between the president and the Revolutionary Guard over the handling of the war and its destructive impact on the country's economy. According to the report, Pezeshkian is criticizing the escalation led by the Revolutionary Guard, especially attacks on neighboring countries that are bringing severe economic consequences. He is also said to be pushing for executive powers to be returned to the civilian government, but that request was reportedly rejected. There are also signs that the damage from the fighting is spreading deeper into Iran's industrial base. An Iranian official tells the New York Times that strikes on steel plants have significantly harmed the economy and could delay the country's recovery after the war. The report says the facilities supply critical raw materials for roads, buildings, and infrastructure. At the same time, Iran's parliament speaker is issuing a direct warning to Washington. Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf says the United States is talking publicly about negotiations while secretly preparing a ground invasion. He says Iran's armed forces are waiting for the U.S. military and are ready to punish its regional partners. The warning comes as reports say the Trump administration is considering sending 10,000 additional troops to the region. U.S. officials have confirmed that ground raids by special forces inside Iran are among the options under review, including operations around Karg Island and coastal areas near the Strait of Hormuz. The White House says the Pentagon is preparing plans, but no final decision has been made. Even as threats escalate, the messages from Washington remain mixed. On one hand, there are claims the war may be nearing an end through diplomacy. On the other, the administration is still warning of harsher action if Iran does not abandon its nuclear ambitions and threats against the United States and its allies. In Lebanon, Israeli officials are signaling that the military campaign may continue well beyond the current phase of the war. This, according to Ynet. Security sources say the army will not leave southern Lebanon until Hezbollah is disarmed, and that the operation could last for months or even years. They say even a ceasefire would not necessarily bring an Israeli withdrawal. Fighting there remains intense. Israeli forces operating in southern Lebanon are under heavy artillery fire, anti-tank missiles, and mortar attacks, with little time to take cover. Hezbollah has been pushed back in some areas, but it continues launching mass barrages toward Israeli troops and northern communities. 5 Israeli soldiers have been killed since the maneuver began, and more than 30 others have been wounded. Israeli officials say the goal is to create a deeper security zone inside Lebanese territory to reduce attacks on residents of northern Israel. They say the military intends to remain there as a buffer. Meanwhile, Israeli airstrikes are continuing to hit Iran's military industries. A senior Air Force official says this time the attacks are not limited to specific components, but are wiping out entire factories. He says the damage has left Iran, in his words, militarily naked, and will force the regime to devote major state resources to rebuilding. There are also new images circulating online that appear to show damage to a USE-3 Sentry aircraft at Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia. The plane was reportedly hit in the recent Iranian attack on the base that wounded 15 American troops. So far, there has been no official U.S. confirmation of the images. Inside Iran, authorities have shut down a chain of cafes in Tehran over takeaway cups that officials say hinted at the assassination of Ali Khamenei. State media say the designs showed a suspicious empty chair and were interpreted as a reference to the leader's death and the disappearance from public view of his son and possible successor. And in Britain, a growing political storm over antisemitism. The Green Party has postponed its conference at the last minute amid controversy over a proposed motion declaring Zionism to be racism. Leaked internal messages also show extreme rhetoric by party activists targeting the Jewish community. Relatives of party leader Zach Polanski have now publicly denounced him, accusing him of turning the party into a home for radical Islamists and the far left. Those are the latest headlines from IsReal News.